There's that intro music. Welcome to the parking show, Dani and John. Everybody,
welcome back, everyone. It's been a second.
It's been a good while, And so this episode, we're going to be talking about what, Dani? What are we talking about today?
Your favorite. John has been talking about this topic since episode 1. Brand loyalty. Is there or is there not brand loyalty within parking?
Dani and I are going to be fighting today over brand loyalty. Is it a B2B business or are we actually, is it consumer? So that's going to be the topic today. But wow, what a break we've had.
We did. And it wasn't intentional, right? We didn't take this break intentionally. I was going to say unfortunately, but it's not unfortunately because we both went on some really great trips. We've been all over the place.
We've been all over the world.
We have all over the world since our
football season started. I got my University of Colorado Deion Sanders look. Woo! I got my sunglasses on.
I wish everyone could see right now. If you're not watching on YouTube, please go to YouTube and watch this episode because if you could see John's get up right now,
it's prime time, baby.
Let me just try to describe this really quick. It is about 40 degrees in Denver right now, snowing, and Conway has some actually pretty fashionable sunglasses on.
Yeah, they're green. These are like from the fishing nets and stuff, all that material. Yeah,
it's quite the get up today in the studio. So
anyway, yeah, we plan to have a lot of fun today because it's been a while. I miss Dani.
Yeah.
I've got to see you probably like once in the last 2 months. I think.
And I'm gonna let you announce. I'm gonna let you say, where did I see you?
NASCAR.
After all of my shit talking of NASCAR,
Dani went to a NASCAR race. Everybody,
I did. I went to NASCAR, but because I surprised my dad for his 66th birthday. We took him to the championship race in Phoenix.
I can't wait to hear the opinion because I haven't talked to her, honestly. I saw her on the plane, but I know she's going to tear it up. We'll see.
It was quite the experience. It was great, but I think that I can check that experience off my list and move on with my life.
Are you going back?
No. I'm not I'm not going back. I think my dad would love to go back. My family would love to go back. I think I'm good.
It was hot.
It was what are we in? We're in November.
Yeah, it was.
And it was 90 like it was like mid 90s.
It was hot
in Phoenix.
Yeah.
Like I was very happy it was pool weather, but it was not walking around.
You were not at the pool.
I was walking around in the middle of the desert with my parents, with my brothers, and I think at one point my mom thought we were all going to die. Like we got back, really funny quick story. We got back to the house later on that night. We didn't even stay until the end of the race. And
my God, you left early.
Oh, we did. And
it was the championship.
We know who won. That wasn't even my decision. But we get back to the house. My dad comes up to me. I'm laying on the couch, and he's like, "Hey, are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine. What are you talking about?" He's like, "I don't know." My mom and my dad were sitting out by the pool at this point. He comes in and he's like, "Are you okay?" And he's like, "Your mom was out there telling me that she thought that you were going to have a heat stroke. She thought that you were sick." And all that stuff. I'm like, "No, I'm fine." She didn't even have this conversation with me, right? I drove us home from the race, and he's like, "Yeah, your mom said that you were getting a heat stroke and you were really sick. So I just wanted to make sure you were okay." And I was like, "Nope, I'm good."
I was having a different kind of stroke. I drove us home from the race, but I don't remember. No, I'm kidding.
John, we don't encourage drinking and driving.
That's right, we do not. So remember the disclaimer on the show. Remember, it's
our own opinions.
Enter at your own risk here.
Listen and enter at your own risk.
So let's dive into this brand stuff. So here's what we're going to be doing. So we've kind of touched on it on earlier shows, and the feeling in the banter here is going to be whether a consumer who's somebody who parks their car, who drives around and actually has brand loyalty, right? Like an airline, they fly United exclusively, and I'm going to park with brand X exclusively. In my opinion, the parking business is a B2B business. So I'm definitely a B2B business. I have no brand loyalty to people that get parking tickets. That's a fact. There might be some brand loyalty. They want to kill us. But aside from that, the operators, do they really have brand loyalty? In my opinion is, pardon my French, but nobody gives a shit about an operator brand. So unless there's a few exceptions, I can see business people in off-airport situations who go to the airport, have a routine, and they might have a great experience, so they go to that same location every day, every time they travel. Or a valet situation, possibly. But let's face it, in my opinion, people drive around, they're going to park where it's convenient, priced, and safety. That's it. That's what drives it. So I think if we have all the tighty-whities in this business could come to the conclusion pretty quickly, stop worrying about, the wrong things,
And I will say, to backtrack a little bit, if there is one company, John, that I want to get a parking ticket from, it's definitely your company. So my brand loyalty to parking tickets are with you.
Well, it's kind of hard when we dominate and we're everywhere. So, but It's funny you mentioned that because the producer, Seth, came in today and was complaining that he paid for a parking ticket from us.
Ooh. Yeah. Where'd you get a ticket?
At the last studio.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I've been sent to collections from when I think I'm in collections with PRS.
I actually had to take him over to the other office, which is next door, and introduce him to the lawyer because he didn't think he existed.
Well,
so he got to meet Dan Kelly.
I think you're gonna have to walk me over there after this too, because I got a few disputes to.
There you go.
Yeah.
Dan will help you out.
No. Anyway, I think, I've been, since the beginning of the season, I have actually been thinking about this, right? About brand loyalty, because in the beginning I said, no, I think that there is brand loyalty within parking, specifically parking operators. And I would agree, and I would also disagree. I could play both sides of this, but I think at a local level, there is brand loyalty. And I think, in my opinion, I think.
What are you laughing at? Are you laughing at yourself?
I'm laughing at your face.
I'm being quiet and respectful. I'm letting you finish.
Your facial expressions today are there. So I think at a local level, I think there are operators who do very well with brand loyalty and I think that that's great. I think as a consumer, I am a creature of habit. I like to go to the places that I know are going to serve me well in any capacity. I fly the same airlines. I stay at, I'm Delta, I'm Southwest, I'm Marriott. And when I go to park downtown, if I'm in Denver or I have the places, I'm very loyal to.
So let me ask you a question, though. I get the airline thing because I'm Southwest, United, and I'm Marriott. I'm a Marriott snob, so I hate it when I'm staying somewhere else. You know what you expect. So right. I get that.
So what's different about your when you're parking?
Well, here's my question to you. So you said I'm the same way when I go downtown. I park in the same spots. Are you going to the same spots?
So I'm not parking in the same spots. I'm parking with the same operator 90% of the time, depending on where I'm at.
So are you within the general area of... So what if you had to walk 2 miles because that operator wasn't there?
Well, and that's what I said. I think at a local level, I think...
That is a local level.
Yeah. No, at a local level, I can wherever I'm going, I can find parking with the same operator.
Okay,
I can.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that they're very well.
I challenge that.
Oh, they're very well established in Denver.
Well, this must be one of the bigger operators.
No, I think that they're not national.
Interesting.
They're not national, and I
get some clues here.
And I think that
what color is their logo?
I think that, and I don't want to. I think it's really hard to provide consistency at a national level. And so I don't think that brand loyalty at a national level is really hard to do. I think people know your brand, but I think it's really, I think going back to people know your brand. If you're a big national operator, people know who you are. But going back to your point, I don't think that brand loyalty at a national level that's very hard to do.
Right.
I think at a local level, it's a lot easier to do. And I think that there is one operator in particular, specifically, I'm speaking specifically to the Denver, to the Colorado market, who is doing it very well, because they provide consistency, right? I know what I'm getting. If anyone comes into town, they always know. They always ask me, hey, I'm going to a Rockies game. Where do I park? I'm going here. Where can I park? I'm going here. What's the easiest to access in and out?
So I struggle with this because when I was an operator, I was a kid when I started out in this business, and I was energetic, and I believed there was loyalty. Right. And
but
so
do you believe people are loyal to the brand or to you?
I originally thought that parkers could be loyal to the brand. And then over the years, I quickly realized that was total crap. At least my opinion, right?
Well, because
I'm not saying that to insult you. I'm just saying I came to that conclusion.
I'm not insulted. Don't worry.
I don't think. I think it would be hard to insult you. But. So I just think I strongly believe just some of the experiences over the years. It was like, I'm talking about an era when you would raise parking rates by a quarter.
Oh yeah.
And that was a big deal. Like I'm going from $1.75 to $2, right? And boom, the next day that lot's gone. It's cleared out over 25 cents. So that's a surface lot, And then I came to the conclusion in a garage atmosphere when, the company I worked for had great amenities. That was a great thing. They had amenity programs. And honestly, the reality of it was the amenity program was really to sell the clients that we were trying to get business from. Because it was all cool. It looked cool. Oh, you got this, you got that. Yeah. When really none of the people that actually parked there used the amenities. Like they absolutely didn't use them. And then I saw it when I went into the airport space. Like, are you kidding me? You think I'm gonna use dry cleaning when I'm going to an airport? I'm running to get on the plane. Fuck. I'm bringing my dry cleaning to the airport and I'm going to drop it off and then pick it up. It's total shit. Nobody cares.
I could utilize that. That's one of the things that I look for when I travel.
I'm swearing today. I got my New York. See, I spent some time in New York while we were gone. So it comes back.
Upstate.
Grannies.
Yeah.
Everybody. My wife, she's Italian, but her parents, both Italian from Italy. Very strict household. They don't swear. So 15 years ago, she's like, "You're gonna meet my dad." Like, no swearing.
Yeah, I'm like,
oh my
one.
God, it's gonna be impossible.
You couldn't even say that. That's considered swearing.
But
probably.
he was a no nonsense Marine, Italian, and so there was no swearing in that household. So that kind of beat it out of me. But then she couldn't understand how, because every word out of my mouth is the F word.
Today you're letting loose, and
so she went to New York. And then came back and was like, I have never seen anything like that. Grandmothers, fathers, everyone just swearing. You know what I mean? It was nuts.
It's funny because people are always like, when we first started this, I was like, should I be like, can I because people who know me, I definitely have a potty mouth. And so I wasn't sure what it was really, what we were really, getting ourselves into here with the two of us, with sitting over Mike and maybe swearing, maybe not. Wasn't sure how that was going to be. It was.
I don't know. Over the years, I've gotten really good at eliminating swearing, but I add it when I need to. Right?
Yeah, I think it depends. It depends on my setting. Who I'm around. In a professional setting, definitely Well, I guess I'm not going to say. I don't not as much in a professional setting,
and that's a good.
But
thing.
you get me out in the parking lots, and it's
You're
a whole
flagging people in.
It's a whole different ball game.
Do you have OVG flags?
No, we don't have OVG flags.
No,
but we have vests, and then we have light ones.
Do they say OVG on the back?
They do.
Okay.
Yeah, on the back or on the front.
So do you think those people are going to go, wow, this is OVG, we got to pay?
Hopefully.
Okay.
I would love for people to pay for
and we're
parking.
coming back.
Anytime someone tells me that they have free parking, anywhere I go, I'm like,
we're going to park here even if there's not an event, right?
Oh, yeah, I hope
Brand
so.
loyalty, they're going to walk 10 miles?
That's my goal, John. But to create brand loyalty around OVG parking and mobility.
So obviously our studio is always right next to a parking garage.
It is.
Right?
And today we got a surface lot.
Yeah, so we got a surface lot and a garage.
Yeah.
There's a garage underneath. I don't know if you know that.
No, because I parked in visitor parking.
So I'm going to run to the garage and I'm just going to grab somebody because I want their opinion. What do you think?
Sure.
Okay. Hold on.
A brand loyalty, or what are we?
Well, I just want to know what drove them to this parking lot. And I want to get their opinion because, again, I've thought about this pretty hard over the years. And it's like I put myself in these situations when I'm going downtown and there's no way I look around and go, oh, my God, there's that parking company that I love.
Really? You don't do that?
I do not.
Why? Well, then, okay.
I don't even know. I don't honestly. I think the best logo sign is the non-logo sign.
What
if it just said
drives you
public
to-
parking,
what
that would
drives
be
you
the
to
best
park-
logo sign ever.
No, what drives you to park somewhere? You
I
can't
told
say
you.
safety because you're.
No, I told you it's convenience to where I'm going. So wherever I'm going.
Okay.
So let's say I'm going to Blake Street Tavern. I'm
Yeah.
going to park in the spot that's the closest to the Blake Street Tavern.
That's my
as I
law,
can.
by the way.
And that's all
Brand
I care.
loyalty.
Yeah, that's all I
That
care
is me.
about. I'm not ever looking at a logo sign. I could give shit less, right? So I'm not looking at that. So convenience, and then I'm looking for price. Maybe not me. I'm looking more.
So
for
are you looking
convenience.
over convenience over price, or
Some
are you
people-
looking at price over convenience?
Some people, so it goes in this order. It doesn't necessarily go in that order, but it's the price, convenience, and then there's a dabble of safety. So
a dabble.
So for me, it's sheer convenience. Price doesn't play into it. But if I pull in and it's convenient and I'm looking at two guys shooting up, breaking into a car, like I'm not going to park there. I'm going to pull out. So safety does have a factor, right? So
Okay, all right.
I'm going to pull out and find another spot. But there's other people that will look for the cheapest. They'll drive around and then, but it's within a certain area where it's convenient. And then maybe safety is the last. And then there's other people that they're all about the safety first, and maybe it's price and convenience. But realistically, I don't think people drive down to a metropolis area and go, my brand's not here, so I'm going to park 5 blocks farther.
I think for me, that's the first thing that I look for, and then it's convenience. So
I think it's because you're in the parking industry.
You might be right, but
because you're attuned to it. If you talk to a stranger, they're they don't even know.
This is the thing too, though, is that like I really, even though I'm in the industry, I hate to be inconvenienced by parking. So I'm about brand because I know specifically here in Colorado, or if there are places that I travel to often, like New York. We were in Pittsburgh for what seemed like a year, but I look for brand because I know what I'm getting into, because these operators who are creating brand loyalty have consistency, right? Within their garages, within their surface lots. I look for that because I know that I can park. I can get out, I can use whatever technology and be on my way. I don't have to worry about what I'm going to do when I park. Like, I already know what's going to happen. I already know what I'm getting into. I'm going to get into a scan to pay, or I'm going to pull up and I'm going to pull a ticket from a kiosk. And I know, I already know the flow of either or.
I mean, when I go to the airport, I could tell you I park in the same spot
Me too.
or the area every time, so I don't have to think about it.
Oh, me too. Every single time. I no matter if I'm flying out of West or East Terminal
That's right.
DIA, I always
I go on the first level on the west side all the way north as I can get.
Oh, you park in the parking garage.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Sorry, John. We're not all at your level. We can't afford to park in the parking garage for 9 days at a time.
Okay. So price is driving you. Whoa. There we go.
You know, the person who approves my expense reports is in the room. So I got to,
Whoa.
I don't think $300 in parking is
I have a fight over my expense report every time. And I'm sure my boss is tuning in and,
Yeah. Oh, now we know why they're so high, because you park in the DIA garage for $80 a night.
Don't worry. I don't park in the garage. I was just kidding. So it's convenience. That's why.
No, but
you're price driven at the airport.
Well,
so you're backing me up here.
No,
Thanks,
at the
Dani.
airport. Well, I can't I'm about convenience at the airport.
So I think
there's
I should
one
go.
operator at the airport.
Let me just leave real quick. You keep talking. It'll take me about 10 minutes. Not even 10 minutes. I'm going to run.
You want me to talk to myself for 10 minutes?
I'm just going to run out and I'm going to grab a stranger from the parking garage and we're going to ask them. Okay, hold on.
I can't wait. All right, you're back.
Okay, that was really quick.
That was a fast 10 minutes, Sean.
So Bill Anderson is a tenant of our building, and I just grabbed him from the parking garage. So Bill, we're first of all, how you doing, Bill?
I'm doing good.
Let's get you closer.
You got to get close.
I'm new to this.
As if,
Well,
yeah,
you just I appreciate your time. You just got pulled in out of nowhere, so I appreciate it. You're probably like, "What the hell is this?"
Thanks, Bill. Thanks for dealing with a random stranger coming up to you in a parking garage and asking you to, come upstairs. I feel like this goes against what our moms taught us. Don't ever follow a stranger.
Right? He did offer candy, so to be fair.
That's what I was going to say.
The good thing that Bill's got going for him, though? This is Greenwood Village, and we're right across from the Greenwood Village police station, which I think you're safe, Bill.
I think so.
I can attest to that.
So, Dani, why don't you tell Bill what we're talking about?
So, Bill, we are talking about brand loyalty and parking.
Okay.
So, Bill,
to be expected as an answer.
Let me put it into context for you. So, Bill, do you have a wife, Bill?
I do not.
Okay, so let's just say you have a girlfriend.
Yeah.
Right? So you and your girlfriend are heading downtown Denver tonight.
Right.
And you're going out to dinner.
Okay.
Where are they going to dinner, Dani?
Wherever your little heart desires.
What about, what is it? TK? What's that?
STK.
STK. So that's between
16th,
Market.
or it's on 15th and between Market.
It's on Market between 15th and 16th, right? Or 17th? Okay. So there's about 4 or 5 parking garages. You might be familiar with downtown Denver, right?
Definitely.
Okay, so when you go down to STK with your girlfriend, and you have to park your car,
right?
Tell us about what you're gonna do when you're parking your car. What's going through your brain?
Well, first of all, I'm going to try to find the closest parking lot that I can to that location.
So you're going to find the one that's most convenient? Yeah. Okay. Is that that's it? That's all it is for you?
No, I mean, I'm going to look at, if I have different parking lots, if I've got somebody where I can, pay a little bit cheaper.
Oh, so price driven. Convenience and price. What else? Is that it?
No, I don't know. Is it safe to be there? Is it, do you have a bunch of homeless? I mean, the homeless people downtown, you guys been downtown lately?
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a question.
I mean, nothing against the homeless, right? But you got the homeless encampments, and you got the crazies out there, and if I got
that goes along with safety.
Let me ask you a question. So you fly? Do you fly?
Of course.
So do you pick how do you choose when you're flying? Is it price?
Price.
That's it? So
price, convenience.
You don't care about the airline.
No, I mean, the reality is if I can get from point A to point B, I don't like connection flights.
See, Dani and I disagree with you there. So I'm totally driven by brand when it comes to flying.
But I'm a cheapo,
but not parking.
Okay.
So this is my question to you: is that if you went downtown, you took your girlfriend. This was a nice night out, STK, wherever you're going, Ocean Prime, whatever.
Ocean Prime.
And so we can all agree that parking is the first, and like it's about the guest experience, right? Like when you're driving downtown, you have to find somewhere to park. That's the start. That sets the tone for the rest of the night, right? Whether you find a good parking spot, a shitty parking spot, good price, whatever. That's your entire experience around parking sets the tone for the night, right? So if you go, you park, and it's all about convenience, but you have a really awful, shitty experience, would you ever go back to that particular lot?
Probably not.
Okay. So then if you went out and it set the tone for you and it was a wonderful experience, say that there was someone in the lot, they were providing some great customer service. They were just chatting, they were walking through the flow of, how to, I don't know, how to pay for your parking, whatever. You just had a great experience.
Okay.
Would you go back to that parking lot?
Of course.
Wow. You should have been a lawyer.
That
was good.
Thank you.
That was freaking good. Your calling is not in parking. I just solved it. That was a lawyer. You actually sold me a little bit.
But because there can be brand loyalty.
So that's why I always say your best parking experience is the one never remembered. Because you're not going to park. You're going to STK.
Yeah.
But I'm going to my destination, right?
And then you're going home with a happy girlfriend, hopefully. Right?
Yeah.
So
but if you have
if you get a parking ticket,
then we know where that's coming from.
Then you can call me and blame me.
Well, at least I know where to find you.
Yeah, right. In the parking garage downstairs
now
here.
You know that we're in the building and I'm going to be afraid. It's a good thing we're all locked down here.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, Bill, we appreciate the opinion and happy parking. And thank you. We're your neighbors, so come on in anytime.
All right. I'll take you up on that.
We've got beer on tap.
I'll take you up on that as well.
Thank you, Bill. We appreciate you.
Absolutely. Thank you. Have a great day, guys.
Absolutely. Okay, Dani, I think you burned me on that one. Started off pretty good.
Well,
I might not have. With full disclosure, I might have saw Bill earlier today.
Yeah, maybe, I know. I could tell.
Maybe Bill was a little coached. I don't know.
It's all good. But I didn't see him, and so I made my case.
Good.
Good enough.
Yeah, you kind of sold me. I gotta say.
But what did I? So the conversation when I saw you at the airport the day after NASCAR or whatever, Monday morning, I told you I was like, we had a really weird experience all around, right? I work with venues, I work in events, and our experience from beginning to end, like it started out really well, and then it got really weird in the middle, and then it ended really well. And what I mean by that is what made it a really great experience for us that day was particularly the parking situation, right? And you even were like, when I told you this, because I was like, we drove in, we drove up, like we drove up, we drove in, and we were able to park. They waved us in, we parked, and we were right outside the track. Like we didn't prepay, we parked for free. And that was the easiest. We didn't wait in line. Like no one gave us a hard time. And maybe that's just my good karma because, that's why I asked you because first of all, full disclosure, when I go to these races, I'm working. So we really have been working for a long time on a project with NASCAR. So, but this weekend, because normally I'm not a normal parker. So I've parked in the infield. I park everywhere but where regular people park. Well, this weekend I didn't have any parking passes. So you had to park where the regular people parked, John. You parked.
I parked in steerage.
But this is the funny thing is you park where the regular people. I was one of the regular people this weekend, and I got VIP parking. I didn't know this until you confirmed it.
You did. So, and I'll explain that.
Yeah.
But so I parked out in the farthest lot that you could ever park in, and honestly, I have to say I was fully prepared for the shittiest experience of my life. It was awesome. Like I'm way far out, and they had this tram that was like right went down the middle, didn't have to stop or anything. There was and we parked in the farthest parking lot away, and they had it worked out. Like there were other stops, but like they had it so, the one tram would go all the way to the end, fill up, and then go, but there was others that wouldn't go all the way to the end. So they had the whole timing thing and the amount of people, they had it dialed in. And so honestly, the experience wasn't bad at all.
Well, that's good.
I actually got out pretty quickly at the end, just the way they had the traffic flow and everything. So
I could not imagine if I had to get my family on a tram to go anywhere. Like we were already in like full meltdown by the time we entered the race.
Right.
That like getting out, I couldn't imagine if I was like, hey, family, now we got to get on this tram that's going to take us 3 miles south.
Yeah, there is one thing I will say though. I knew coming back at the end, there was no way I'm waiting in the line for the tram. So it was a long walk,
yeah.
But you know what? I know on days where I'm at the race, it's a 25,000 step day.
Oh
right?
yeah,
so,
yeah. In mid 90s, it's something that I wasn't prepared for. So I mean, fine for me, but I'm taking my parents. My dad just beat cancer.
Hopefully they appreciated the the
he
effort.
did. They
there was
did,
some
but
fun
like
in
my
there.
dad just beat cancer, and so like his energy level is still a little low. So getting him around, it was fine, but at the same time it was like 95 degrees, and having to go back and forth was just. It was.
So how do we end this dispute over brand loyalty and parking? Because I think there's some, what do I want to call these people? There's people that are, they're like younger in the industry. They got great enthusiasm, and they're I don't know. I totally get it.
Are you talking about me?
I'm just talking about people that are so excited and they're like their brand. They think but it's really not. I think people should focus on making their customers' experience as convenient as possible, right?
Which creates
and they should
brand
have
loyalty.
They should have what I'm saying and you're saying, and maybe combine the message. But the message, they should be thinking in their brain, how do I make this person never remember where we're at, right?
But I think that also creates brand loyalty. Like having a good experience in parking. I mean. I'll talk about my parking experience at NASCAR all day.
So you liked it. It was good. Phoenix. So shout out to Phoenix Raceway.
And their parking.
That's a NASCAR owned track too. Good for NASCAR. They did it right.
Operations on the inside and outside ticketing ops. You got some work to do there, but the parking experience was great. Getting in and out was great.
Well, OVG can help them with that experience, right?
We most certainly can.
All right. So where are we going to end this episode, Dani? Because I think we can agree. We can end it with agreeing to disagree, right? Like I think that there is brand loyalty within parking. I think at a local level, I'm not sure about a national level. So I know we got a lot of listeners. We got listeners all over. We got listeners in Spain. We got listeners worldwide because we can see the demographic thanks to our producer. But I was actually in Spain and met up with some guys in Spain, great guys, startup in parking software. And we went out to dinner when I was in Barcelona, and their girlfriend is like, yeah, he plays this episode. Your episodes are playing in the morning when he's getting ready. So this is a shout out to those guys in Spain. But where was I going with this?
Well, I will say though, my mom was like a little starstruck to meet you when she met you when we met up for happy hour the night before NASCAR.
Oh my God!
She was like, oh my God, we finally got to meet John Conway, and I was like,
only 12 beers in, 32-ounce beers.
John Conway got to meet the Crain clan, and
that was good.
Yeah, you got to meet everybody.
That was great.
Yeah.
In Scottsdale, we were in Scottsdale.
We were in downtown Scottsdale.
But I want to hear feedback from people. So we don't normally do this, but our email is not getting utilized by our listeners. So there's a lot of listeners. That's where I was going with this. So info@parkingtalk.com. So email us because I want to hear feedback on what our listeners. And we have a lot of listeners. Wow. I mean, it's impressive, right? Producer?
We've done all right.
So, and it's going to get better. But so I really am interested to hear what people's opinion are.
Yeah,
so.
Absolutely. Please email us your thoughts. opinions,
Is there brand
questions.
loyalty in parking? Because we're going to keep arguing about this for a long time.
Will.
Info at
parkingtalk.com.
And then I'd like to give a shout out to the Parking Whisperer. He's a new sponsor. Last episode was the first episode. And John Oglesby is the CEO and I think a founder. And if you don't know, he writes an article in the Parking Today magazine. And he just wrote one in the latest episodes titled When a Vendor Becomes a Partner, Success is Sure to Follow. So
great article.
Yeah, you guys should follow the Parking Today and look at John's his article on a weekly
be sure to follow
monthly.
the Parking Whisperer on LinkedIn.
Yep, www.parkingwhisperer.com. And then, of course, our two platinum sponsors, Azura Technologies and PRS, of course.
PRRS.
And then we have two new sponsors that are coming on. So who's...
Sun Signs.
Sun Signs.
Sun Signs, based out of New Jersey.
So a New Jersey sign company coming on, recognizing the following that we have and all the parking operators out there. So we'll give them a shout out and we'll tell you more about them after they sign the contract, of course. and then order your signs. Check them out. Do they deliver nationally?
Oh, nationally. They are Sun Signs. They are a solar
Solar.
We'll have to edit this.
Solar signs.
So they are
No editing.
Solar panel.
Danny didn't
solar
know what
powered.
to say. Oh
Damn
my
it.
God.
Solar powered.
That's a first.
Solar
by the way,
powered.
Danny was late today. We started the show at 3:12 instead of 3.
I was in the parking lot at 3:00. I was technically on time.
You were late.
I'm sorry that this is a new. You're now corporate, where this is not. We got you. Our studio is a little more corporate than fun,
a little
but
corporate-y. And then we have another sponsor coming on, New Frontier Communications. So they provide all of the SIM cards, and they, when you deal with, like we do at PRS, with Sprint and Verizon and all the different markets, I mean, we have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of SIM cards out there. And so they do a great job. We call them, they know what markets and which cell service is the best. They even break it down into sub-markets within a market. So I know there's a lot of people out there that, probably are going to need that service or would be interested in that service, because the cell phone companies will rip you apart. So you need somebody on the inside that knows that language that can maneuver you through. So
agreed. Brand loyalty.
So I think it's good to see you, Dani.
Yeah, you too.
It's been a long time.
It's good to be back in the studio with you.
I had my prime look going today.
I know. We kind of matched today. We're kind of in the same.
We haven't been on the air since prime. Since the season went live. So.
Since I was in Italy.
Scoop buffs.
Thank you for listening today. Thanks for listening to Dani and John, All Things Parking.